Good evening. I wanted to let everyone know that I have finished a completely free version of Big Country Basketball Time. It's a skeleton. You can click the link in the description box and it'll take you to this folder of things. It's called BC Big Country BSKT -free. It is the free version of the skeleton rules. So again, if you want to know, if you want the full game with the Big Country universe, how to create players and how to do off season and all that, you're going to have to purchase one of the Big Country Time sports books. But if you just want to play, I will say if you want to play the pro basketball full seasons that Rodney provided for us, so you can play the 1980 Hawks versus the 1980 Celtics, everything you need is here. All you need is the charts to play the game. And so it's a skeleton set. It just really quickly tells you what it's for, explains to you how to get the matchup ratings, what the sequence of play is, an example of play, and then the charts. So pregame, very simple. My guard, let's say my guard has an offensive rating of A. His opponent in a man-to-man defense, the opposite point guard. So my point guard's an AOR. Let's say their point guard's Gary Payton and he's an A. So we'd be A versus A, C. So my point guard for this game would be a C point guard. And I'm going to do that for all 8 of my players before game. So I'm going to find out my point guard's grade, my shooting guard, my small forward, my power forward, my center, my backup guard, my bench forward, my bench center. I'm going to do that for both teams. And once those grades are set, I'm ready to play the game. And it's very simple. You're going to make a roll for each team in 3-minute segments. So you're going to have the first 3 minutes, I'll roll for the home team. Let's say I roll, I'm going to roll 2d6, one red, or let's say one black die, one white die, and the black die's 10s, the white die's 1s, and I roll up 24. I'm going to look at the ball handler for the first segment. It's my point guard. My point guard is a C. I roll another d6 of 5 on C. He scores 8. So in that first 3 minutes of play, I would just make a note, point guard 8 for the home side. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing for the visiting team. So first 3 minutes I roll. Let's say I roll a 51. It's their center. Let's say their center's a B. I rolled 6. Their B center scores 10. So home team scored 8. Their point guard put up 8, and the opponent center put up 10. That's the first segment of play. That first segment is 3 minutes of total action. And I'm going to do that 3 more times for the 6th minute, the 9th minute, and the 12th minute. And that'll give you closer to pro NBA basketball scores. Okay. So that's it. It's that simple. And then, of course, I also put in here my optional ASA, which I just released the other day. But instead of, I put it all on a simple sheet. So also, I know my point guard scored in that first segment. There is no auto stat. However, I know my center on my team got a rebound during that 3-minute segment. So my point guard scored 8. I would also then give my center a rebound. My point guard is not a plus player, so there was no plus on the roll. He's not a plus player, so there's no foul. Let's say their center was a plus player. Their center scored 10, so I know their power forward got an assist, so I would give their center 10 points. I would give an assist to their power forward. Also, the power forward would get a rebound on the visiting team. And let's say it wasn't a plus roll, so we'll ignore it. But if it had been a plus roll, it would have also been a foul against the opposing center, right? And that you're not going to foul out here, but you're going to just track fouls if you want to. But it would explain why they got an extra two points if they had been plus points. Okay, so that's how that works. And so by the end of the game, you're going to have all your points scored. You're going to have every single point. Again, that's not necessarily, you don't have to see that as the point guard scored 8 straight points. It's just how much the point guard had contributed in the first quarter. But by the end of the game, you're going to have points for every single position on your team. Well, not every. There are some positions who won't handle the ball and score points. So you might actually have a couple of these guys not score in a game. That would mean they fouled out. But let's say by the end of the game, I'm going to have points for almost every position on my team. I'm going to also have a collection of assists for my players, rebounds for my players, and even some special things like blocks, steals. And then, of course, I'll also know how many fouls my team has collected or their team has collected. And again, any player that finishes a game and does not score a single point, they are considered to have fouled out in that game. They still will collect their ASAs because they obviously played. They just didn't score. But let's say my small forward didn't score in that game. But during the game, he would have still had assists. He would have still had maybe a rebound. He might have had a steal. But what will explain why he didn't score any points is he was in foul trouble and ultimately fouled out. So you would just make notes of those. And this is optional. You can expand this, make this as detailed as you want, something like this. I call this a stat allocation tree because, again, whoever scores, we're going to branch out and we're going to attribute other stats to teammates. So this can be made even more intricate or broader with more information, whatever. But I leave that to you. The game is designed so you can at least track all of your scorers for this season, for every game and for every season. So anyway, I wanted to let everybody know. So now I did this when Rodney did the entire history of professional sports for my Time Engine games. Where the heck is that? Original. See, original time games are right here. They're here in what's called Originals Remastered. This is all for the real of hockey, basketball. I made these. I remastered these and provided these complimentary so people could enjoy. Because Rodney is giving away the entire history of professional sports, basically complimentary, and I wanted to make sure. But they're rated for my game, so there was no doubt I had to meet him and make something so people could enjoy all of this amazing history, and obviously complimentary because if Rodney's given away, which is a good thing, I'm not complaining. I'm saying it deserved me remastering the 4 original games. Well, that's kind of what's happened here. He provided this Big Country basketball history. Again, for those of you who don't know, again, every single team from 1950 to 2024, with every player on those rosters rated for Big Country. And so it only makes sense if we're going to have all of this wonderful history ready to play. Not everybody is going to be able to afford to purchase my book or my ebook. And so I wanted there to be at least the skeleton rule so people could grab a couple of teams, plop down with a sheet of paper and 3 dice. You're going to need, 3 6-sided dice, like a red and a white for the D66 ball handler chart, the offensive player focus chart, and then you're going to need another D6 for the score of that player. So the first thing you're going to do before games, match up all your players, get their grade for the game in their man-to-man matchups. You're going to roll this for every 3-minute segment. It's going to tell you who on your team has the ball, and then you're going to roll to see how they score, and then you're going to add these extra stats if you want to. Then you're going to roll for the opponent and who has the ball, and you're going to roll for their scores and assign their other stats, and then you'll go on to segment until the 12 minutes is played out. And then you're going to just alternate, do your jump ball, and then alternate who gets the ball to start every quarter. And there you have it, folks. So it's a skeleton version. Again, you don't really need the Big Country universe if you just want to play the entire history of professional basketball. You don't really need my Big Country universe. You don't need to know how to create teams. You don't need to know how to run players through the off season, because obviously if you want to do fictional career stuff, then buy the book. If you just want to enjoy playing, replaying great, tournaments or replaying complete seasons or games or whatever, all you need is the engine. You just need the how to score points basic engine. And so here it is. All right, everybody. So don't fret for those of you who love basketball and really would love to engage in this, and you just don't have the money to purchase the big book. Don't sweat it. here is a free version for you. So everybody have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Good day.